Show. I'm your host, Karen Rogers, K-Row on the radio, and it is a terrific Top Topic Tuesday. I have a special guest, Ashley Chennel, in the studio with me. She is an up-and-coming entrepreneur in the field of beauty, hair, makeup, and all things beauty. I want to talk, like I said, I'm going to go back to the beginning. How did you even become interested in even thinking this is something that I want to do?
Well, I went to broadcasting school. I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and when I graduated, they told me to be comfortable on camera to start a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
So I could actually see myself, how I act, and my mannerisms, how I speak, my, just voice, diction, all that kind of stuff you learn. Mm-hmm. And so I liked being on camera. So they were like, well, why don't you just make a YouTube channel and talk about what you like? And what I like is hair, makeup, beauty, fashion. So I went on YouTube and I actually just started looking up those things. And I saw other girls on YouTube filming tutorials on how they do their makeup, their hair. They were talking about different hair products they use, different weave that they buy. And so I was just like, I could do this, like I had the experience and I can edit because we learned editing in school. So
I need you to teach me that. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we learned editing in school. So I went and I got camera equipment. I got an editing system and everything. I actually kind of had some of that stuff from school because we had to have it.
Okay.
So I learned it and I started filming myself in my room. And I started filming tutorials and hair reviews. Like I would buy hair and I would talk about it and what I didn't like about it, what I did like about it, and I would film it and then I would edit it and put it on YouTube. And I mean, for a while I was just kind of getting mediocre views. And then I filmed, there's a website called AliExpress. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but a lot of people buy hair on that website.
Okay.
Like virgin hair. So this was in the beginning of when virgin hair actually started to become popular. So I started ordering hair from that site because it was reasonable. Mm-hmm. And I started filming hair reviews on it. And it just took off. Like, my channel just blew up.
Oh, wow.
From that. Like, I think my first AliExpress video got, like, 50,000 views.
Wow.
The first time I did it. So I was like, okay, so this hair thing is probably my niche.
Mm-hmm,
so I started filming videos about hair and how I do my hair. And I'm actually pretty good at doing hair, even though it's not something I want to do, but I do, like, my cousins, my mom, my family, I do their hair, and I was doing that, and I do my hair really well, and people wouldn't know the difference, whether it was mine or not.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm just going to start filming hair tutorials. So that's basically what I did. And my channel started to grow from there, and I started to film makeup tutorials. Once I got into makeup took a while because I really didn't wear makeup. I kind of just kept it simple.
Right.
But once I started to learn how to do makeup, then I started filming makeup tutorials, and my skills grew. And different TV experiences came from, like, just putting myself out there.
Right.
I mean, obviously my internships, I did one at Radio 1, and then after Radio 1 I did Rachel Ray Show. Then after Rachel Ray Show came VH1. I was in, I think it was an on-air intern. Yeah, we did, like, just the different shows. You kind of make commercials for them and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I was doing at VH1 as an intern, just sitting in on sessions and filming and things like that. And then I went on to 106 in Park for, like, a short period of time. I interned at BET, and that was fun. I mean, after that, I just kept filming my videos. Like, in my time off, when I didn't have anything to do, I would film and I would edit, and I just liked the result. I liked being on camera. So after that, then...
well, before we go to after that, because the point that I want to make in all of this is that you went after what you wanted.
I did, and it wasn't easy, and it's not easy, and that's something I want to stress to people.
Yeah.
Because, well, one, I would say I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Because people don't get those opportunities every day, and I do realize that. I mean, I know thousands of people apply for Rachel Ray and don't get that. So I honestly just believe this is meant to be. God is on my side. I have, like, a really strong personal relationship with God, so I know when I'm doing something that he doesn't want me to do, or if I'm doing something he does, and I talk to him about it, and I said, show me this is what you want, and honestly, the opportunity just came
And and I think that's the key, and I'm glad you said that, because you need both. And I think especially, unfortunately, in the church, we get very lazy about things because we want to put everything in, well, if it's God's will, then it'll happen. But you really need
to do the legwork.
You really do.
My grandmom is a deaconess at her church, and she's like my influence. Like, I live with her, so everything she does, like, I watch her, she's the person that I kind of emulate, and I just pay attention. And you have to, she always told me to ask God if it's in his will, what he wants. Don't just go do something, ask him first, and he'll show you, like, if this is what he wants. And it doesn't happen overnight, obviously he answers you on his own time, but once I fully gave my life to God, and I really decided, like, look, this is what I want to do, and I did ask about it, I did talk to him about it, and he just gave me confirmation in different ways. Things just started to fall in my lap. Things just started to happen. The right people were put in my life for these things to happen. Like, I did obviously go to school and put myself out there,
right,
but I would say, like, extraordinary things happened. Like, doors opened up that I would have never thought that would happen. You just know. I don't know how else to explain it. You just know when you have that strong relationship with God. You know when you're doing what he wants, because he makes it clear for you. Right.
And that's another great point about going to school. Like, everything, because what I always want people to understand is that God's not going to do for us what we can do for ourselves. You know what I mean? You went to school. You did the legwork and getting the internships and looking them up and finding out, what do I need to do to even qualify for this? How do I apply for this? Putting myself out there. Being prepared for the no's and not giving up because of the no's. You know, God's not going to do those things for you that you can do for yourself, but he will do what you can't do for yourself. And like you say, opening doors. Putting people in your life sometimes that you're like, wow, how did I even get this? Exactly. And so both things are needful. And again, going back to my original statement, I believe we all have it within us to be that independent person, you know, that entrepreneur, but it's not going to just fall into our laps. We have to do the work, and there needs to be a balance. We don't want to rely all the way on self, that, you know, I pulled myself up by my own bootstraps, but then we don't want to swing all the way to the other end of the pendulum where I'm just going to wait on God to
I say you meet him halfway. That's how I would look at it. I mean, those internships weren't easy. I was young, like a lot younger than what I am now, and they were in New York City. I didn't know the city from a can of paint, like nothing about New York.
Did you move to New York?
I didn't. I just went back and forth. I worked my overnight job at Duran, and I would leave my 12-hour shift and go straight to interning and into school. Like, I mean, it wasn't easy. You can ask anybody. Even I literally passed out at work from working so hard. Like, I was so tired. I ended up in the hospital because I worked. I mean, I went hard because once you get into something and you love what you do, you just won't stop. And I'm one of those type of people, like, once I'm doing something I really like, I just go hard and I don't stop, and then I have to learn a balance, and I didn't have one because I was just working all the time, and I ended up, like, just getting sick from it, and then I kind of took a break from doing everything, and I just started to focus just more on my channel and everything. But the internships weren't easy. I went to New York. I had to learn the city on my own. They don't hold your hand. They definitely don't. Like, I had to go on runs and do different things for Rachel Ray show, and they were just like, here, you know, go here, do this, and I'm just like, where? Brooklyn.
Oh, God.
I didn't know where I was going, but, I mean, they have an app called Hopstop. I downloaded it, and I just put in the address, and I made my way to that part of the city, and after a while, you just get used to it, and you start to know where you're going and stuff. But my first time ever interning was in New York City, and I didn't know anything about it. Besides, you know, just going every here and there, but not on your own. And I would stay at my aunt's house in Brooklyn, and I learned, you know, I had to figure out how to get there and stuff like that. I would stay there on my days off and just, you know, go to my internship the next day, and it just kind of worked out. I mean, everything it wasn't easy. That's what I want to stress it. It really isn't. It's not, especially, I mean, some people do this when they have children and they have jobs and stuff. I didn't have kids, so I don't have children, so I was lucky enough to be able to to do it and not have to worry about like money and things like that. Most of my paycheck went to interning, traveling back and forth to New York, because it's not cheap. It's expensive to do that every day.
And we need to take a commercial break, but I hope people are listening to what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because it's the point is, it's not easy, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? And sometimes it'll cost, because and I'm going to go to break after this, but I know I left a career in nursing, and when I left nursing, I was at the top of, you know, earning. Like when I got my W-2, I was like, wow, I made that much money. But like you say, when I got into radio, I was like, I love this. And so I was willing, and at one point, when I look back at the 3 years when I first started doing radio, I don't know how I made it through, because I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do a morning show, and then go to work, and then do my show, and then I had an on-call job. I don't know how I made it through those years. The only thing that I can say is that it was the grace of God. But I wanted to do this, you know what I mean? And I was willing to pay whatever price I need to pay. We'll come back and we'll talk more with Ashley Chennel. If you want to call, if you have questions for her, give us a call, 856-227-1360. 856-227-1360. We'll be back with more Top Topic Tuesday right after this. JJ Harrison and Youthful Praise from their latest CD, I See Victory. It's called It Pushed Me. And a very appropriate song for what we're talking about today. It's Top Topic Tuesday on the Vision Radio Show, and I'm talking to special guest Ashley Chennel. And we're just talking about being pushed into our destiny. Sometimes we don't even realize what's in us until we're pushed, until we're challenged. And I challenge everybody and encourage everybody to rise up to the challenge, because sometimes you never know what's really in you and what you can do until you're pushed to that limit and it comes out. We were talking about, you know, you just wanted to be in front of the camera. They told you do what you like to do, and you decided, well, I like hair. What I want, because I have a wide variety of listeners, or a wide range of listeners, explain what virgin hair is.
Well, virgin hair is just raw human hair that hasn't been processed, dyed, no chemicals. It's just pure, like straight off of someone's head. It's like donated hair. And each head is different, obviously. Each bundle of hair will be different because it's coming from someone else's hair. So it's 100% virgin, meaning it's pure. There's nothing
no chemicals,
no chemicals, and all the cuticles are aligned. It's just like raw hair.
And what's the benefit to having virgin hair?
I mean, truthfully, virgin hair is a lot better than just going to your local beauty supply store and buying hair, because it lasts longer. The durability is longer. You can wear it for about up to 2 years if it's really, truly good hair.
Oh, really?
And I mean, obviously, you'll take it out and wash it, and you have to. What a lot of people think a big misconception with virgin hair is people think you can just wear it and go and not take care of it. And actually, because it is virgin hair, you have to take care of it more, in my opinion. Just from wearing it. I've been wearing it for about 3 or 4 years now, like constantly wearing virgin hair, and it actually requires more upkeep, in my opinion, than going to the beauty supply store, because it is pure and it's raw hair. It's like your own hair. So you have to wash it more frequently, in my opinion. You have to just take care of it, just like you would your own natural hair. But it's worth it. It lasts longer. It's just, to me, it's better. It's worth the investment. A lot of people, you know, think it's expensive, but versus paying for hair every 2 weeks, because you know, the beauty supply store, you have to go. I was an avid beauty supply store person. I went a lot, and I bought hair like every 2 to 3 weeks. Well, when I was younger, my mom was paying for it then. It wasn't even my money. And
it's different.
You don't realize. It's like $60, $80 every time you go every 2 weeks, versus maybe like $200 or $300 one time, and you don't have to buy hair again for at least 6 months to a year, depending on, you know, how good the hair is.
So when did you transition from the beauty, you know, store to the virgin hair?
I had a girlfriend. Her boyfriend had met this woman, and she brought back hair from India. Like pure hair from India. She brought it back from her country. She was selling it. And he bought a bunch of it, like a whole bunch of it, and he brought it home, and he told my best friend, he's like, I'm going to start selling this, you know, because obviously it wasn't big back then. This had to be like in 2009, 2010. Virgin hair wasn't huge like it is now back then, and he had brought it home, and it was real. And I had never seen anything like it. I was like, what in the world? She called me and was like, come over and see this. She was like, girl, this is new. Like, it's new. So I'm like, okay. So I went and looked at it, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. It was so raw. I mean, it even, I mean, it just, the smell, everything.
Wow.
It was amazing. And I was just like, wow, this is really pure hair. So I bought it, and I started to wear it, and I wore it for like a year. And then I bought hair from him again, and then he stopped selling it because back then it wasn't as big, and it was way more expensive than what it is now. Back then it was like $400, $500, $600. I mean, people still pay that for hair,
right?
But the market has become so saturated now. So many people, there's all these virgin hair companies are popping up. So,
right.
And now I've noticed just from being in the market that it's not always 100% virgin. Now they're mixing it with Chinese hair. They're mixing with all these different types of hair now. So you're not getting the raw, real deal like you would back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously when there's less, it's a better quality. Now that there's so much of it, to me, you really have to like search and find a good manufacturer to sell.
So now I want to transition over, and we'll talk about this on the other side of the break, because do you have your own line now of hair? Are you working on that?
No, I do. I have my own virgin hair company.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that when we come back, because that's what I was kind of leading up to, where you kind of found out what virgin hair was, you found out the value of it, and something said, hey, I can do this too.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. We'll talk about it when we come back. I'm talking to Ashley Chennel, Virgin Hair. What's your other site? Ashley Beauty?
Ashley Chennel Beauty.
Ashley Chennel Beauty. Give your blog and your YouTube and all that stuff.
Well, everything's the same. It's all Ashley Chennel Beauty. I just did that so it won't be hard to find me.
Nice and simple, right?
Yeah.
Just like on K-Roll Radio and everything.
Chennel spelled with 2 N's.
Right.
So it's CHENNEL.
Yes. Look her up, and if you have a question, if you want to, or a comment, give us a call, 856-227-1360, 856-227-1360. I'll be back with more after this.